Good morning, boys and girls, ladies and gents. Right, today I'm in the massive 3070. What a wonderful tractor, little vintage classic. If you haven't seen the video I did on all three of my tractors, it's up here now. So got a slight problem. I had the clutch replaced about 5 years ago, and then I think the slave cylinder's leaked ever since, really. Obviously, as a leak gets progressively worse, it becomes more of an issue. So it was fine all summer, and anyway, the winter, after a couple of cold spells, the clutch pedal has just disappeared. So now, if you leave it overnight, you get no clutch pedal, like I will show you in a minute. It's obviously quite a big problem and quite a big job to fix it. I don't know. Fingers crossed. It's just a loose pipe. I could just nip it up, or pipes burst and I could pull that out and get it replaced by taking the plate off the bottom. But until I take the forward drive shaft and the plate off the bottom, I'm not going to know. But this is the clutch pedal. I could just push it with my thumb, my finger, and obviously that should be quite firm, not like that. So that is a bit of an issue. However, I've got enough mechanical knowledge, as you would have seen from the video before, where I built the splitting rail, to split it up here somewhere. If you haven't watched that, watch that and then come back to this. But either way, let's get into this now. I've got to get it in the workshop. Battery dead. How bloody annoying. Got to jump back on it down there. Will it start is the question. 3, 2, 1. Of course, bloody not. Stupid thing. Readjusted jump pack, will it start? Oh yes! You tin, brother! Right, here we are. The first thing to take off is the four-wheel drive shaft. It had a cover on it, a guard, that held in with 4 bolts, which I already took off, but I didn't record because I'm an idiot. So we've got to take 2 bolts out of the centre housing for the bearing that runs in the centre of the shaft. So this shaft goes from the rear transmission to the front axle, which delivers the four-wheel drive element to the front axle. So that's me undoing the 2 bolts for the bearing. And then after that, we've got to take a split pin out of a coupling. Here's the split pin. Remove that, slide the coupling back, and then we can pull the shaft away from the back end of the tractor. And you've got to do this to get to the plate that we've got to get to remove. So here's me trying my best to get this split pin out with the world's worst pliers. But we live. Yeah, making a right hard job of that. got to keep going and going. Once you squeeze the two ends together, you can push it through the hole, pull it out the other end, and that just holds that coupling there to stop it from sliding back and forth. So there's me just pulling it out the other end. Not that you can see it too well. Give it a little twist if it's a bit tight, if you haven't quite crimped the end together properly. Right, just like that, that's the split pin out. That's what I was saying, there's me sliding the coupling back. Not a very good view. Obviously there's where the shaft comes down. Take that out of the way. It's quite heavy actually, didn't quite realise how heavy it was going to be, but some wicked camera action right there, you know, laying right in front of it. How genius. There's me cleaning my hands. So like I say, once that's removed, you can then gain access to the plate, which is held in with 4 bolts. You're about to see it, you can see it now, there we go, that plate there. So you can see where all the oil is, which is why we're taking it apart to see where it's leaking from. Right, there's the plate, that's the plate that covers the clutch housing. 4 24mm bolts hold that in there. Right, quickly just buzz them off with the Milwaukee fuel impact gun, just like that. Easy as that, really. There's 1. There's 2. There's 3. And then, last but not least, the 4th bolt. So you can see just how wet it is in there. Obviously that's the oil leaking out of wherever it's leaking out of. That's what we're in here to find out. Right, so that's the clutch slave cylinder. Obviously the rubber boot round it's moved slightly over time, but obviously you can see where it's wet as anything. That should be completely bone dry. Shouldn't be any moisture or wetness in there at all, especially not oil. It's about one of the worst things you could have in there. But on first inspection I would say it's not the pipe leaking, and it is actually the slave cylinder itself, which means that the tractor's got to be split. And for those that don't know what this slave cylinder does, I will put a diagram on the screen in about 2, 3. There we go, diagram on screen. So you've got the master cylinder, which the clutch operates, which pushes the fluid from the master cylinder into the slave cylinder. And from the slave cylinder, this is a slightly different diagram, but the slave cylinder is on the bearing that releases the clutch on the pressure plate. So it pushes the hydraulic fluid, and the hydraulic fluid is what's leaking out of the slave cylinder, which is causing us to get a soft pedal because it's allowing air in, and obviously can't hold pressure because it's leaking. And obviously to depress the clutch, you've got to have the throw out bearing push onto the pressure plate, which is doing, but you have to pump the clutch quite a few times because of the air, as I've mentioned. So that is a diagram for those that didn't know. Swiftly moving back on, this is a little video I've got of the actual clutch release bearing in action. So in a minute, once I climb back up into the tractor, you will see how this operates. Obviously the pressure plate there is getting pushed in by the cylinder, so that little metal cylinder in the centre that you can see that comes out, that's where the oil's leaking from. Obviously it's got a lot of rubber seals and gaskets in there. Like I say, this was done before, but they're a bit renowned for never quite being the same. So I've got to split the tractor in order to take this slave cylinder out and reseal it, and the seals turned up today, which I will show you in a second. But this is not the news that I wanted. Right, as you would have seen, it's not just a pipe. I thought it was just going to be a pipe. I thought, easy as anything. I'll take the shaft off, take the cover off, do a little union up or a little pipe up. Problem solved. Easy bloody peasy. Of course, bloody not. It's always just so challenging. It's always one thing after another. You think, right, I'm slowly getting on top of these mechanical jobs. And obviously it's old equipment, isn't it? I half expect it, but you kind of, we did the steering ram on the Macro that I'm sat in. Keep chipping away, but it just seems you solve one problem and you gain two more. And it's always two bloody worse issues and all, like having to split the tractor. I mean, that's a solid couple of days worth of work. I mean, I've got to take the four-loader off. I've got to take the four-loader brackets off. I've then got to disconnect all of the pipes. So heating pipes, steering pipes, brake pipes. But no, not brake pipes. Steering pipes. Basically everything that connects the front to the back. Fuel pipes, everything like that. To then roll the two halves apart using a trolley system that I built, picture on screen now, which looks awfully not safe. So to say I'm not looking forward to it would be a massive understatement, because the whole concept of it just sounds absolutely bloody awful to me. But I'm going to have to do it. It's better to do it in the winter than it is the summer. So what more do I do? I can't. Just the thought of paying somebody else to do something I can do is also quite depressing. So anyway, at least we now know we've diagnosed the fault. So we've just got to fix the fault. And I'm going to have to do that soon. I've got the seal kit turned up. That was only 20 quid. This is a stupid thing. It's £20 part. It's not even like it's an expensive part. It's the cheapest part. It's just the longest process to get to it. But anyway, I'm not going to dwell on it. I'm not going to cry about it. We've diagnosed the fault, and now we've just got to fix it. So if you did enjoy this video, or you want to see if I can actually fix this thing myself, or whether it all catastrophically goes wrong when I start using my trolley system on screen now that I built, then make sure you subscribe, make sure you like the video, and ring the little bell, and you'll get notifications of the next video of me fixing that bloody thing. So without further ado, I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment of any suggestions you've got to help me split this thing, and I will see you on Friday.